It genuinely blows my mind how many people are still treating LinkedIn like it's 2018. They're spamming templates, chasing virality, and then wondering why they aren't driving any leads from it. Truth is, if you want to sign clients and book 5 to 10 calls every single week from LinkedIn, you need to stop playing the volume game and master 2 things: content and DMs, but the right way. In this video, I'm going to show you the exact framework we're using to consistently book qualified calls for our clients, out relying on cold generic outreach or burning out trying to go viral. It's the same system I've used with guys like Cory Dobbin, the founder of Otherside, who grew his page to almost 10,000 followers and signed multiple clients from LinkedIn. Marcin, who's booked dozens of qualified calls with e-commerce brands and apps through his content, even signing Bill Gates' daughter as a client, and as well as Seech, who we've helped book over 40 plus calls in the last 60 days for his paid ads agency and coaching program. And by the end of this video, you'll know exactly how to use LinkedIn content and DMs to turn credibility into conversations and conversations into clients. Plus, I'll give you the free template we use at the end so you can start right now. All right, so let's get into this. So the first part to actually booking calls and growing your business with LinkedIn is content. And I like to phrase this in 2 different categories. There's whale content and fish content. For context, the bottom line with your content on LinkedIn, you need to gain trust. Clients come from trust when they know you're an authority figure amongst your peers, when they see other big names celebrating you, and when they know you have proven results in a repeatable system. And that's the entire goal of actually posting on LinkedIn, to build a shelf of trust. That way you have a pre-built authority system that converts leads every time they land on your page. And this is where a lot of ghostwriting agencies and a lot of business owners in general, they take the wrong approach to LinkedIn, to Twitter. They've optimized their offer and their posts on LinkedIn for followers and likes, not to actually help their bottom line. So they'll post very generic business related content that appeals to a wide audience, sort of like the David Goggins, motivational type stuff that everyone can sort of get behind, which is really easy to like and really easy to comment on. However, those likes, those comments, they aren't translating to business because they are not your buyers. So what we want to do with content is attract your ICP, only people who meet your client qualifications. So for example, if you're selling 10K packages to e-commerce brands, we don't want to speak about small transformations or strategies for the general e-com landscape. We don't want to speak about general strategies for marketing. We want to speak just to these big e-commerce brands, 8-9 figures, what struggles they deal with on a daily basis. That way they actually resonate with our content, because at the end of the day, these are the only people purchasing from us, not Joe from down the street. It's 8 and 9 figure e-commerce brands. So yeah, your whales will not eat content that doesn't speak directly to them. So that's the first thing. You need the right kind of followers, so you got to post the right kind of content. So that's case studies, your expertise, personal transformation stories relevant to your service, reactive topics in your industry, and hot takes. This is sort of going to make up the bulk of your content strategy. So that's the first layer to content. Pretty simple, nothing crazy there. Frequency: 5 times a week, 1 case study, 3 strategic trends, tactical advice, 1 lead magnet, 1 personal. Very simple stuff. And then here's a easy content framework. If you want this entire doc that goes over it, just comment down below. I'll send it right to you. This will help a ton, so you can have it in your back pocket. But yeah, I don't want to go over all of this. Not super important. I'm just going to go over the basics. Hooks, yeah, this is super important as well. Hooks are the most important part of a LinkedIn post. It's what actually engages the reader. It's what gets them to click that see more button, which is all that matters. If you have the best content ever, the best formula, the best 5-step framework, but no one reads it because your hook sucks, that's going to hurt your engagement. It doesn't matter what you write under the hook. If no one clicks the see more, no one's going to read your post. So comment below and I'll send this to you. Yeah, step 2, DMs. This is the most important part of actually booking calls on LinkedIn. It's how we've gotten such great results for clients. Content's great. You'll get some inbound leads, but it's not what's actually moving the needle. What's actually moving the needle is DMs. And like I said, where the cash is made. So why LinkedIn DMs? Over the past 13 months, I've seen multiple 7-figure founders with large followings posting 30 times a month and not booking any calls. I've seen this happen dozens and dozens of times. And why is this? It's because LinkedIn is becoming more saturated. It's not saturated yet, but more and more agency owners know, okay, business owners are on LinkedIn. I need to be posting on LinkedIn. It's kind of the hot thing to do right now. So everyone is posting on LinkedIn. It's hard to stand out with just content. The only way to really stand out and actually get business from LinkedIn is through the DMs, because no one's doing DMs right. And sure, there are a lot of people doing DMs, but they're not actually putting in the effort to make them stand out. And here's a bit of what I I mean by that. Most people, about 99%, are spamming sales scripts. They're using fake personalization and putting zero effort into the sales process. And because of it, quite literally 99% of them do not even get looked at. They don't get opened. And this is true. If you go in your own LinkedIn DM inbox, Instagram, Twitter, wherever it is, you're not reading or answering any of those DMs because they're all automated, and you can tell within a split second. You're not going to look at it. And that's part of the strategy I'm about to go over that will help you get 35 to 60% response rates literally every single month. And if you're sending 400 DMs a month, that's, let's even this out, 200 responses. That's a lot of, engagements. And, these are the numbers we're pulling pretty predictably with the process I'm about to show you. So what changed the game for us transferring from a super robotic scripted approach to super ultimately personalized, specific, spontaneous, all the above human manual approach. This is what has changed the game for us. So like I said, 99% of cold DMs never get opened. No one wants to actively get sold to. So you need DMs that dig deep, that pull on heartstrings, that are personal if you want someone to actually engage with it. So what does that look like? This is the actual framework, and I'll show you with a few picture examples in a second, but just to give you some context, there's the opener, hey name, simple. Restrained compliment. We want to be respectful, but not fanboyish. Bad compliment, love what you're doing. And this is what a lot of people will do. They'll say, love what you're doing at XYZ. That case study with Nike is so awesome, so impressed. They want to glaze these business owners. Whereas if you just say, oh, you guys do GTM for SaaS? I like it. Solid. This is a restrained compliment. I like it. I don't love it. I'm not impressed by it. I like it. 70% is solid. That's solid. It's decent. Here, this gives off very beginner vibes, and everyone does this. They think, oh, I want to build rapport with them. I want to be nice. It doesn't work that way. We want to show them, okay, we've been there, we've done that. We're not easily impressed. Next is a business observation. Use this to display as much authority and competency as you possibly can. Show the prospect that you know what you're talking about and that you're legit. And so what does that mean? It means if I'm, DMing a cold email guy, I'll be like, yo, the GTM space, it's such an interesting space right now, especially with cold outbound. So much tech nowadays. I'm actually in a big group with a bunch of guys killing it in cold outbound, like Nick Abraham, Matt Lucero, etc. A lot to keep up with. This does so many things well. It shows that I'm up to date in his niche. I'm actively, I know what's going on. I'm someone of competence that understands cold outbound. And B, it shows, oh, he's connected with Nick Abraham, Matt Lucero. Those are some big guys. That's interesting. This gives him a reason to reply. We always want to ask ourselves, okay, what's in it for the prospect? Why should they even reply? And this is this does it at the highest level. It shows so much authority and competency. Lastly, personal connection, something specific about their city, school, or background. This is very important, especially as the last message. Got the chance to go to Miami a couple of months ago. Went to Dirt French over in Brickell. Had one of the best trip stakes ever. Highly recommend. This is something that actually happened. And if they're from Miami, they're going to be like, wow, this guy made it abundantly clear that he went through my profile. He knows I'm from Miami. He's giving me a recommendation of a specific place in Brickell. He's so specific. It's not some generic. Miami's so beautiful. Anyone can write that in 2 seconds. I know I said got the chance a couple months ago. Dirty French in Brickell. Had one of the best strip steaks ever. I recommend it. That's so specific and it works so well. A lot of times you'll get responses just because of this. Here are some examples. Zoe, how's it going? Dig what you got going on with strategy. GCM, such an interesting. So this is the restrained compliment. I dig what you got going on. I love what you got going on. And you want to use their company name, of course. GTM. I use that GTM phrase. That works really well. So is coaching the main focus right now? I don't think I included this, but we also want to ask an ambiguous question. So is the main focus right now just to scale up the coaching? We always want to ask a question that does somewhat move the conversation forward in a salesy direction that will help us end up booking the call potentially down the line. But we want to jam it in between a bunch of other questions in this multi-threaded DM that kind of takes the pressure off. It's not like I'm just saying, Zoe, how's it going? So are you trying to scale up your coaching? If I just left it at that, it's okay, this guy's trying to sell me. But the fact that I included all this, it's oh, wow, he took the time to start a conversation with me. He just wants to talk. So that's very important. Ambiguous question. Adam, how's it going? Dig what you got going off the wave. You work with SD Body Sculpting. I've been over there. Haha. Over in university. See how specific this is. Over in UC. 27 leads a day is solid. Restrained compliment. Are you guys landing most of your guys via referral or no? Ambiguous question. By the way, gotta make it out to the UK. Heard crazy stories about the football culture. Always wanted to try profitable English. See how specific and conversational this is? This actually booked a call with I booked a call with this guy. It's so specific to him, gets really good replies. But you get the gist from now, why it works: personalization, conversational, and it's relatable. Yeah, why he should DM like a frat bro. This is interesting. This is a post I wrote on LinkedIn. One of the most important parts of this DM strategy is to be conversational and personable. That's what gets people to reply, because LinkedIn is known as such a corporate-y, you know, stuck up platform. People love to see this kind of new, like, man, like casual tone. I don't come across as stupid. I come across as personable and easily approachable and conversational. And I come across as educated and authoritative because I made this, you know, I made this observation. But I say, dig what you got building. Like, I'm not like, hello, Zoe, pleasure to make your acquaintance. I like what you got going on. Like, I'm very, oh, Zoe, what's up? Dig what you got going on. And then I make it, you know, authority building observation about GTM. So that's super important. DMing like a frat bro in a sense. Maybe not like a frat bro, but super casual. Like, you're not responding to this. I'm so happy that we're connected. This is so ungenuine. You want to be genuine. It's an instant turnoff when you're all stuck up in corporate. Keep things short, punchy, be specific. Then yeah, don't use ChatGPT to write your messages. Not gonna work. Lastly, profile. I'll go over this quickly because it's not as important, but an optimized profile alone will book you calls if you land, if you got good traffic coming to your page. You need a banner with a specific outcome. So book 10 to 15 calls a month for LinkedIn, cut B2B ad CACs by 40%. Here's an example of mine. It's a specific, you know, I help B2B businesses use LinkedIn to find more clients and grow faster. That's specific. And then social proof. I've worked with a bunch of people, whatever. And then about section needs to be somewhat of a sales letter. Talks less about you, more about the customer. Customer pulls on heartstrings. It flexes your wins. And if you want the stock, here's an example. Action steps for you if you want to optimize your profile. Go through and create notes on your ISP, your outcome. So like what business outcome you provide, your service, your social proof. And yeah, turn it into an about section, turn it into a headline like I have here. This is a headline. And then for the banner, just keep it clean, simple, adjacent to your brand. And then yeah, you can have a CTA link and whatnot. Here's a good example as well of Matt Barker. Yeah, cool. All that said, so yeah, that's the framework to booking 5 to 10 calls per week with LinkedIn. I need to dial in your content, DMs, and your profile. If you really do focus on your content and DMs especially, I promise it's going to move the needle. I promise you'll start signing a bunch of clients on LinkedIn. I scaled my agency to 6 figures in less than the past 10 months with LinkedIn as the main acquisition channel. Now, as promised, I'm going to give you my exact DM and content strategy template. Just comment down below if you want it and I will send it to you so you can start implementing it right away. And if you want this completely done for you, you want to start signing clients from LinkedIn but don't have the time to write DMs, to write posts, to do your profile, etc., we'll do this completely for you. We'll help you book 5 to 10 qualified calls per week with LinkedIn. All you have to do is hop on a quick call with me. We'll see if it's a fit, if it makes sense. Just click the link in the description below and we'll get that sorted. But yeah, if you enjoyed this video as well, make sure to give it a like and ask me any questions below. Happy to help out where I can. But yeah, I'll see you guys in the next one. Cheers.